I'm just doing some random experiments uh, for Quake-Like kind of styled game. I'm trying to find the right balance between chunky kind of Quake era, characters that still feel good, while also thinking about like a conceptual IP for everything. So just kind of like I'm also like kind of speed running, getting into like 3D art stuff, and I want a relatively simple design that can feel really interesting through like movement and animation, while keeping it kind of stupid simple in a way. Let's do scale Y0 here. No, Y0. And part of it as well is creating a style that is fast to work with as well. Fast to iterate with, fast to create characters with, all these kind of things. I'm trying to find that really good balance between. So this is the elbow. I'll poke that out slightly. Just pinch this a little. I think I am gonna go. So a couple different themes of like elves with guns was one theme, but I think I'm kind of scrapping the idea. And I think I want to be more creature like, a little bit more like a golem, and different types of elemental golems. And I might make the big hands part of the kind of game concept of um, some of your melee attacks and stuff. Might be big fist hits and things. I keep trying to make the hands too small. I want the hands a bit more chunky. It's a weird thing because it's like Quake is kind of a serious toned game, so I don't want to go too cartoony because it might um, pull away the core audience of Quake. But I don't know. I don't know if cartoony Quake um, would work. I'm not sure. Um, Knife that. to do. I've been trying to mostly stick to squares here. For easier UVs, or more accurate UVs, I should say. Kind of just been moving triangles around. Not doing a whole lot. Oh, I think I finally just got rid of it. There we go. There's still one there, but I'm trying to make like chunky golems. That are a bit more organic feeling. Because my enemies are kind of clockwork punk. So they're going to be more hard surface. So now I think I'm going back a little bit too slender. A little bit too ignore the bottom side. Bottom side's a wreck right now. Oh, I didn't even have the right chat up, so sorry if someone's chatting. I just realized I still have my... I'm not even logged into Twitch properly here. I also need to close my door. Come on now. Okay. Bear me one sec. Okay, and I think I'm going to stop doing some of these curves. I think I want a little boxiness. I think I can actually dissolve this whole row here. I'm going to start with a bit more non-binary-ish model. And just like anything with something simple, trying to make it not just simple, but also have some sort of interesting design along with it that doesn't look just like a stock mannequin. Can be difficult too. Alright, so there's a bit of a weird shoulder going on here. I need this. It's not going to work well for animating. It's kind of the other part I'm trying to think about properly is a really good construction for both UVs and animation. So I feel like I still need this kind of cut here. And then, so I'm probably ruining most of what I did earlier, but we'll see. Yeah, that's kind of necessary. So yeah, previously I think this is kind of up more here. And then this whole thing is my seam. We're literally going to just straighten or flatten, yeah, that whole thing. I'm just constantly simplifying right now. Again, going back to this idea of I'm trying to get in this aspect of, and I've been kind of this way for a while now, of trying to figure out elevated low poly and what that means. Yeah, and I'm going to make the fingers one. This is atrocious here. Okay, so I want only 2 finger joints for one. So these rings here, I want the bend here and I want the bend here. So I'm dissolving all of these if I can. I don't know why that suddenly breaks everything. I technically don't exactly need to get rid of those, but whatever. Go with the flow here. Why is that all bent? Okay, I think that fixed it. Which means I need the knuckle joint here. That's strange. Why is it not picking that up? Okay, it does here for some reason. And yeah, long fingers do not do quite well when moving. So I'm going to make them a bit stubbier. Treating it a little bit like more of a foot, where it's like the main foot and then the ball. Oop. See, it kind of becomes a problem trying to do simple but interesting. Trying to find that balance. I think I'll keep that angle a little bit, maybe. Oh well, here after losing your aura, what happened? And I keep condensing the hands too much. I lost the watch strike, bro. What is the watch strike? Oh, the watch strike. Unfortunate. I'm sort of liking this. It's wonky, but I'm trying to do like a golem. And so that kind of goes in line with that a little bit. I can push it a bit more. I want him to have kind of like this big mitt. Watch streak is what you mean. Yes, the watch streak, yeah. I knew what you meant. I got it. Okay, I think I'm going to let that sit with the hand. I always have to bring it forward a little more. Or do I? Do I need to bring it back? That's probably pretty good. Shorten the arm slightly. Bit more forearm. Yeah, I think that's good. Hmm. Actually, yeah. We're going to do that. But then take this. And then we're going to take, I think, all of this. One, I need to re-straighten these. Scale, Y0. Okay, now we can go a bit more on the individual side. And just go a little more chunk into the hand. There's a little bit of interesting design kind of here. The face is there. How it sits right now. Oh, thank you. I'm speed running it right now. I'm going all in. So I've dabbled with 3D art over the years. I know how to do a little bit here and there. I even did a course on Unreal Engine 3D modeling tools. But it's always a pain because going from like contextually, the controls in Blender are so different from Unreal. It always like such a um, um, it screws with your muscle memory on stuff, and it's always driven me crazy, which makes me want to learn less in 3D Blender or in Blender in general. Um, and so it's limited a lot, right? And so like Ruins of Terra in general is really pushed to the side right now because of its current marketplace assets. A lot of things doesn't mingle with each other, and it puts off a lot of people from even trying, even play testing. Um, and so right now I'm like tinkering with Spinlock, the game, and this is more for the Quake project, because I'm just trying to throw in a couple examples of like one character model that's somewhat representative of the game, and then a few enemies that can look good on a pitch deck, um, showing where I'm going to go with the style of it all. And I'm hoping that helps the ability to get it funded effectively. Are these no longer synced up? They're not. Yeah, so I'm starting to get into a little bit more comfortable controls. Um, at some point, I might even try to find a way to almost synchronize some controls through Unreal and um, Blender, so there's less context. I'm trying to get into the scale Z0. And so I've said this several times, like even through all of Runes of Terran content. I want to be in the space of elevated low poly. And so I don't even know what that is exactly, or where it's going to go. But that's the space I kind of want to play in. And shoot for something interesting on that front of things. All right, so I need to basically mark this as my seam. Because part of what I'm doing as well, again, like I said, I'm kind of speed running, getting more into 3D modeling. And part of that is understanding the construction of a 3D model and the proper construction of a 3D model. And one of which is knowing your seams. And I know it's sort of something you do afterwards, but I'm trying to make sure I constantly think about the seams, especially when it comes to, this is like a low resolution character, so seams are kind of really noticeable, and I'm trying to make sure I do my best to hide those things. So typically you split the arm kind of down this way, and then you'd split here as well. Why is it? Oh, mark seam. And so you have the back of the hand, the bottom of the hand, and then same thing over here. You have the. Now I could technically, I think it's easier just to have the top of the arm, bottom of the arm stuff as well. So having crisp lines there, and I'm looking for like, I'm trying to not go too crazy on But yeah, trying to think of something simple is the overall goal here. It's like a little bit like Polygon, Cinti Studio stuff is too simple. And like, where do you elevate it? Do you elevate it through the polygons? Do you elevate it through the texture? You know, these things. There's so many different ways to go about it. It's like you could leave a more basic silhouette, but then, oh, what the hell happened there? And like, I have my Quake photo in here too, I think, right? So like, this is like where I'm trying to get some chunkiness and stuff. And so how do I like elevate this a bit more? Is also what I'm trying to do. Some, excuse me. Sometimes things can look okay in the in Blender, and they just feel off in it when you put them in your game too. Why is this messing up so much? Okay, please, for the love of God. I feel like my zoom or something is off. I don't know. What am I doing? Okay. I think that's one thing I will put on my to-do list is like synchronizing controls in Blender and let me put this down. Synchronize controls in Unreal and Blender. And that way there's less context switching. That's such a pain in the ass. And if I can do that in both, so I think I'm going to mostly remove the but. That's sort of getting what I want, I think. I don't even know what I want right now. It's obviously too bulby, for lack of a better word. Flatten that a little bit. It's like what I'd want is definitely a little bit of innovation on the silhouette. And then tie that in with a little bit of innovation on the texture. And then probably most innovation is on the animation in some way. All right, so this right here is my next seam. That should be my next seam line right there. Just scale it a hair more. Did Tifa's timer go off at all?
I already did her fries.
Okay.
She's gone upstairs.
Thank you. Okay, I definitely do not want it to do that. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's the next seam right there.
And your dad also
And
is
then I
like
am streaming, by the way.
he's just Mr. Prayer Warrior that I love, and you're I.
Okay. So I think I need to try and get a better midline here. Um, what the? Okay. I don't have to worry about anything going up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that works. I'm trying to go for like just really crisp seams right now. Again, sort of focusing on the construction side and um, of everything going on. Okay. And then this is a seam as well. So really crisp seams. Again, just goes back to the fact of I'm just trying to kind of speed run learning some character art stuff. I think it's holding me back on pitches a lot. So,
Well, Zeus?
well, Zooks, yeah, he's the regular.
Zeus.
Zooks. There's no Z at the end or S at the end.
Zeus doesn't have a Z at the end.
Oh, there's S, I meant. S at the end.
Yeah, but that says, I thought that says S.
It's X. X.
X.
Okay. Yeah, I think I do need to mark this as a seam. Because I have it turned on to mirror UVs at the moment. Yeah, I think I might keep this little bit of a... And maybe I'll continue it over here. Oops. Okay. I think we're going to keep kind of a flat top with a little bit of a indented. So these are, again, out of place. Kind of going for a flat top design with a bit of a pad at the bottom. Let's see here. Alright, so making sure I have our shoulder joint's going to go like right here. So I want to have just an extra ring of polygons there. Then we have the elbow joint here. And then the wrist joint like right here. And I think I'll add a loop cut like right there. Just for that. Hope we get some bitter bends out of everything. I don't need to worry about this too much right now. But just get a little bit better of a...
Do you want to try any of these? Like low sugar.
What is it?
Low sugar.
What's that one?
A whole bag is 70 calories.
Hmm.
Excellent source of fiber.
They're okay.
Oh yeah, they're like good for you gummies.
Yeah.
They're not like, you know, like cheat day ones.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Y0.
They're like little bears. Look how cute they are though. They're bitty. Did you see them? They're like so little.
Mm-hmm. What's going on here? Kind of getting a little bit of a synchronized kind of thing here. I wonder if I delete this section wholly and keep it almost identical to that. So if I pull that up, I guess this over. We dissolve this, dissolve that. out there. Basically like this. Dissolve, dissolve. And then I can dissolve that. Just really simplify everything. Okay, I went one too far, I think. Okay. So why do I have this weird? What's going on here? All right, that's synced up now. Okay. And then now we're going to have this guy doing a loop there, that guy doing a loop there. Here is a joint, so it's going to be like right here. So this needs to just be brought back here a little bit. As the knuckle, so to speak. Same thing here. And then loop cut here. And loop cut here. That's fine. Whichever one works. I don't know why this is not showing up as a loop. What the hell is going on there? Okay, that's that one. Oops. What in the world is going on here? How is that one face? There's like a second face there. Okay. No wonder there's issues. Okay. I think my hand's done. I know it's super basic, it's clunky. It's kind of what I want though. And then on the thumb here, I just need to bring this over a bit like that, I think. All right, so there's going to be a joint, I guess, like right here. Maybe I bring this out more. Okay, then we could just raise these up a little. I'll just take these, all of this. Maybe not these guys. Like that. The other thing I have to be a little bit concerned about is stretching. And so how you're stretching a square is going to really dramatically affect the texture. And so the more square it is, the better for a texture's perspective. But then you also don't care much about it when it's not going to be seen very much. So things like on the inner of a hand, you're really not going to see too much, so you don't really need to care about it. I think my hand design's pretty much done here. I think I'm gonna call that done. I think. Um, hmm. Where's the pivot point for the thumb here? Is what I'm looking for. I think I need to. This thumb is the. I think I'm good on the fingers. But I need a bit more thumb here. Yeah. Hmm. 3D modeling. Bunch of nitpicking, especially low poly. Okay, maybe that's good. Keep that guy there. Okay. I think I'm just gonna call it and at least come back to it later, maybe. Um, maybe I just try doing one joint. I don't know. Just one joint somewhere here. Alright, so on the bottom hand, we have 1 and there, the top's the same way, so it's pretty good. It's even. Less detail on the bottom side, more on the top side. Oh, what the heck happened here? Okay. I don't know what I'm doing with the face yet. Okay, I think that's alright. Okay, I think I need to move on from the arm. I think that's fine. And then I'll bring this down a little bit more here. Yeah, I mean, I'll roll with that. And the bottom part's fine. The butt, at least, is good enough for now. I'm trying to do something pretty generic. But my current idea, I want to get rid of this like weird shape going on here. Maybe I just do something like that. I have a weird idea. I don't know if it'll look good or not, but so part of my idea is that like your elementals, my mic is muted. Can you not hear me right now? It's showing it's not muted right now. Is it still muted? It's showing as active. I don't know. I'm gonna roll with a small idea here. I'm gonna do no head, and I'm gonna do a floating head with basically like a sphere in the engine. And my idea is that you're kind of elementals, and like the floating head will be like a ball of fire, or a ball of electricity, or something like that. So let's see how I'm going to connect this. This will come together at 0. And then so I need the knife from here to here for 1. Knife to here. Whoops. I need to do what here? Okay. Let's start with this at the moment. Um, I think I just got rid of the thing I wanted to get rid of. Beautiful. Got rid of that triangle I've been trying to get rid of. And then we're going to make a little bit of a weird platform for the head. What's going on here? Go ahead and ask away. Well, yeah, I think that's my play here. Chalky character design, weird floating elemental head. Do you have free 3D assets? I mean, completely free. That are made by me. I do not. I mean, for the game jam I just did for Spinlock, I made everything there. But not like, you know, they're not like for sale or downloadable, those things. Again, I'm like back and forth on 3D modeling. I've never been able to focus on it because I've had code to do. And so just by having a floating head will help make it a little bit elevated. It also, construction-wise, makes it a lot easier. And I don't know, I might leave the legs kind of as is. I'm looking for low poly characters. I found a lot of Sketchfab, but it's a little bit bad for me. On Fab, there's less, but better, yeah. And now I can do this as well. Mark seam there. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. So good breakup there. Yeah, exactly. I know what you're talking about. I literally sell vertical third on Fab, right? So okay, so let me. So if I do the seam here, that is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I wonder if there's a way I can remove something here. I guess not really, because I'm getting an extra side in here, but it might become too boxy at that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's perfect. So I'm going to follow this seam all the way down. And be kind of weird about it. And I'll have to fix a whole lot of shit. All right. I know this is probably being way too technical, but I just want to try it. Alright, this is my giant seam I'm going to be building around. Scale x0. And I need to connect them together. I don't need to connect them on the bottom. That's not necessary. Is that? And I actually don't even need to connect them past the ankle. So all these are irrelevant. It's only right here. Mark seam. And so we have the same amount of polygons on the back side than we do on the front side. So I'm going for like a very structurally equivalent piece when it comes to the texturing and UVs. Okay, it's kind of coming together nicely. All right. sometimes it's kind of a snoozeville. I do need to put some music on. All right, that turned out great for leg construction. I'm happy with that. Everything's pretty even overall. I can like move some of these lines a little better. Tweak them ever so slightly. This is one of those things where if I, where's the stupid window thing? I don't know what that was, but what was it gonna do? Yeah, modifiers. Let's turn off the X for a second, or the mirror. I can have this, because the inside of the leg, you don't really care about it too much. You put a lot of the bigger, you do like these kind of like really wide polygons in the inside because you don't get to see them much. And then it leaves more detail on the front sides. And then now we can curve this a bit more. Maybe I still need to include that a little. This guy can go in a little bit more. I think we'll leave that part a little chalkier. And the other big thing I'm trying to do is, because I know my model is going to change a lot, and who knows if I use this for Terran and all these other things, I don't know. It could become like a base model for Terran. I'm trying to have a really figure out my workflow for updating like creating a skeleton, playing with it, and like, oh, I don't like the curve here, or I don't like the look of this over here, and so I want to make changes, and I want to be able to do that quickly without having to redo work. I could do something with the shin here. I could take these, scale x 0. Go like that a little bit. I'll deal with the foot later. There's a whole lot of issues with the foot. I'll deal with that later. Get this kind of line in. I'm kind of leaning into this idea that maybe you're like an elemental spirit and you're controlling some sort of like rig, body rig or something. I don't know. As you rage war against the clockwork machines. What else we got? Check a few of my email, LinkedIn. I see something I might want to attend.